Can Joe Biden rewrite history and defeat Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election inside the 270 mobile game? Hi, I'm Brendan Borman, and today I'll be taking on Sean Lanigan, who is Donald Trump with JD Vance. I am President Biden, and we are going to start off by looking at the candidate profile. So with a vice president, Donald Trump has a whopping 70% gun lobby and a 58% Old South bonus. So I'm immediately thinking we need to get in the Old South. We need to outmaneuver them there. So starting off, not classic Old South, but Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland. And then I'm also going to double pip gun lobby. Hopefully we can get a clash. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is completely skipping out on the national groups. So he has a head start in both North Carolina and Virginia, and that is not good. So now we have to make the decision, are we going to leave that $100,000 invested in gun lobby and just light it on fire? Or are we going to bite the dust and spend another $100K just to get a bonus that has a massive penalty? Now, I did not do the math, but I think that the extra cash per turn is going to be worth it. Oh my gosh, $12,500. That was definitely not worth it. And so the good thing is we were able to sneak by Virginia by a single pip, which will prevent Donald Trump from getting the Old South bonus for now. Now, do we lock Virginia? Do we spread out across the Old South? There are lots of options here. I think what we're going to do is open up Arkansas, Alabama, and we're going to attempt to steal Louisiana. Now, I think it's highly likely that Donald Trump maybe even locks Virginia here. So let's see what goes down here on turn 3. North Carolina is defended, and there is Virginia, which is locked. So no bonuses are established on that turn, and we do have a 409.5K advantage money-wise to 250K, the base rate. Although Donald Trump does not have the Old South bonus yet, he has a massive advantage in key states and likely will get it. We are going to pivot. We're going to open Florida, and we're going to take a pretty risky move here. We're going to go up in North Carolina and also open up youth vote. Now, I could go 2 more pips in North Carolina, but I feel pretty good about this spot. Louisiana is locked, and North Carolina is a clash. Oh, that's devastating. So that's going to be a massive financial hole for us. Oof, that's not good. So we've already wasted quite a bit of money with that North Carolina clash. We wasted more money with the national group that only pays us $12,500 trying to play too much defense. And now Trump already has Virginia locked and Louisiana locked. So he probably will be able to get oil and gas easier with Louisiana. He'll block us from getting high tech. He has a much clearer path to an African-American bonus right now than we have. And so I am going to have to find a miracle pivot. We are going to go up in our youth vote. We financially committed to that. And we're going to wait and see what Donald Trump does. Is he going to open up Texas or California? Is he going to go into New York? Let's see. So it looks like he double pipped into Pennsylvania and Michigan, 2 swing states, which is smart. He has Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia pretty well under control. And we have Florida. I expect him to get into Florida somewhat soon. We do have a small lead in the money, 407 to 365. And I think that if I go the Old South route here on turn number 6, this is a do or die push. Now, I could just try to take it away, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go with a combination of Maryland, Georgia, South Carolina, and Mississippi. Georgia was successful, and he did defend North Carolina and invested into New York. So he was counting on probably keeping that Old South bonus and snowballing that into African American. But on turn number 7, we have a single pip lead in Georgia. So obviously, we are going to defend and lock Georgia. Those 16 electoral votes are massive. The swing state bonus could hang in the balance very soon. So that's a no-brainer. We're going to contest the swing state bonus. I'm initially looking at Pennsylvania, but after thinking about the total cost, $60,000 per pip, realistically, it's going to be more token pressure than trying to prevent the bonus. And so I'm switching it up, not going Pennsylvania. Instead, I'm going to go Arizona. I'm going to go Nevada, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, and New Hampshire. I'm leaving behind $38,000 of cash, and it looks like that Donald Trump is going to defend North Carolina to the 9th pip, and we have a Georgia clash. So Donald Trump does not want to give up on Georgia. We are going to defend her once again. And on turn 8, the money is $373,000 to $252,000. Now, I'm in an interesting spot. I'm actually going to enter New York, even though the cash advantage is small with Youth Vote and Gun Lobby. His lack of being able to get a bonus at this point, I'm going to put pressure on him in New York by entering a single pip. Now, I don't know if Trump is going to spread out in swing states, if he's going to enter into Florida. We'll have our answer here in just a second. He does enter Florida and he low spends. So he does not go up in New York. So it's interesting. We're both at a single pip in New York and a single pip in Florida. The board is pretty well even. I would say that we have definitely climbed back in this match. I like where I am. Now, definitely Donald Trump could win from this position, but we are going to spend in Florida 3 pips. Not 2 pips, because Donald Trump can spend all 3 pips there, and that would give him the swing state bonus. We're only getting the Old South bonus, which doesn't help us anywhere yet. Now, potentially, it could be North Carolina later. But we have a $300K clash in Florida. Both players prioritize the Sunshine State, and both players walk away with nothing. Wow. Okay. So as we enter turn 10, we're going to do the same exact thing again. We're going to spend $300K in Florida. And even though Donald Trump spends $300K, he spends it in New York, which is interesting. I think that's probably a mistake because it does not give him a bonus. And it really commits him to playing out of New York. It also gives us basically a path to swing states. So that swing state bonus is going to give us a $120,000 bonus every single turn. So that move of not going in Pennsylvania earlier and spreading out, that actually worked out to our advantage. So we're going to go through Arizona, Nevada, Iowa, and Wisconsin and look for Donald Trump to possibly low spend. Maybe he might go, I think he's going to have to low spend here. So I am going to actually, Arizona I think is the key. Yeah, we got Arizona. Okay, so I adjusted my money. It looks like that Donald Trump is going for Massachusetts and Maryland. And so he is low spending. He's setting himself up for the high-tech bonus. So, again, there's the swing state bonus. We have $644,000 compared to $319,000 for Donald Trump. The way this guy has been playing, I think that Maryland is probably his play. So I'm going to lock Maryland. And that is going to prevent any type of Old South bonus for him this turn because he's not spread out in the Old South. He also has the route to high tech. Seems pretty obvious. We're also going to open up into some African-American states. We've got Tennessee, we have Illinois, Delaware, and the District of Columbia. We're going to also enter in Pennsylvania, finally. And although I could have overspent with some cash, I did leave Arizona as a trap, just spending one single pip, and I'll be able to lock that once he gets the town and gown bonus, which he does on this turn with New Hampshire and Massachusetts and New York. He also was able to get high tech, so by flipping, let's see here, he has Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. So yes, he has the high tech bonus, although I probably could make a push for that. That's probably the obvious play. And so what I'm going to do is lock Arizona, lock Maryland again, and I'm really going to try to prevent the Old South from swinging. So let's see how this turn works out. With that, we are going to get African American, which is another $120,000 per turn. So again, we are locking Maryland, and we're going to save the rest. We have $228,000 of swing states. We have $220,000 of pure cash behind. I expect probably from this position, Donald Trump to enter into California over Texas. Although if he was able to get into Texas before me and then use his high-tech money to also get into California, that could be a way where we find ourselves in trouble, but not with this much of a cash advantage. So we'll be able to react to pretty much whatever he decides to do. Yeah, so he entered into high-tech states, but I don't think... Yeah, he did get California for a single pip. So we have over $1 million. Do we do it? Do we go for New York? I think we do. I think we go for New York. I think we go 2 pips past, and we have all of this swing state money and the Old South money. Let's go for North Carolina. And just for giggles, we'll defend South Carolina by a single pip in case he goes crazy and tries to flip a lot of the Old South. That'll stop him. So California to the 3rd pip. North Carolina steal is successful. Let's go. And New York. Awesome. So that's a backbreaker for Donald Trump. Joe Biden is riding his way to the White House. As we enter turn number 16, now we have our eyes set on the Hawkeye state. Let's go for Iowa. Let's try to steal it. We have the swing state money. Now let's just steal it and lock it. And Texas. Texas is really the last big prize on the board. Again, we have a small cash advantage with youth vote and with gun lobby. $12,500. I cannot get over that. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in 270. Spending $200K for get $12,500. Man, to think you guys watch my YouTube videos and think this guy has good advice. But no, anyway, the Texas move, it's probably going to be a clash, but yeah, there it is. There's the clash. That was Donald Trump's really last hope. Maybe he could snowball manufacturing with Michigan and Pennsylvania and have Texas, California, but that play was so obvious. So turn number 17, we're going to enter into Texas. We're going to try to flip Pennsylvania and Michigan. He'll probably block one or the other, if not both. But then we'd have enough cash to enter in all the states and wrap this game up. So I am going to end my turn. I'm going to save a little bit of my bonus money. That'll help me maybe defend somewhere where he pressures on the last round or so. Michigan, he does defend. We do flip New Hampshire to blue, but Pennsylvania is back in Mr. Biden's corner, just like in 2020, if you know what I'm feeling. Yeah, New York is safe. And this is the time of the game where we're going to enter into all of the states. All of the white are going to turn pretty blue. And that should do it, even if even if Donald Trump decides to continue playing. We'll have enough EVs where it will not matter. So again, we did not really maximize Texas, did not get manufacturing, didn't get ag, nobody got Latino. But sometimes it's not all about the bonuses, it's about the EVs. And we outmaneuvered Donald Trump when it mattered. We overcame a massive mistake with a huge North Carolina clash. We were able to prevent him from swinging back to the Old South, preventing him from really progressing through the map. And in the end, it's going to lead to a Joe Biden win. Thank you so much to Sean for the good game. He did forfeit. And the final score will be, drumroll please, 436 for Joe Biden. Good game. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.